Okay, so just a reminder, we are just, answering yes or no to these questions. I will show you the key in a minute because it will have some decent examples on there as to why it would be yes or no. Anybody still working on this? Show hands if you are. Okay. All right, so let's take a look and see how we did. All right, so looking at the first one, are two triangles similar? No, right? Not always. So an example could be a right triangle isn't similar to an equilateral triangle, right? Obtuse wouldn't necessarily be similar to an acute triangle, things of that nature, okay? Are two equilateral triangles similar? Yes, because the angles are always congruent. Doesn't matter the side lengths. Those angles are always 60 degrees. Are two rectangles similar? No, not necessarily, right? Because it all depends on those side lengths. Squares, however, the angles are definitely congruent, and the sides are always going to be proportional because they're all going to be the same, right? And then are two circles similar? We went over this yesterday. Yes, the radii end up being proportional. That's a biggie. Remember that from yesterday's lesson, okay? Any questions? Anything I can go over? All right. All right, let's take a look at, oops, there it is. All right, let's take a look at this. So this is in your foldable. Again, colors will help, but again, not necessary unless you feel you need them. It's up to you. The notation for similarity is this squiggly line, all right? This means similar. Please, 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 please do not mix that up with congruency. That happens a lot in this part of the topic because you guys are very comfortable with proving triangles congruent, but we're not doing that now, okay? So, and if you notice, in our foldable, we have that similarity next to angle, angle, side, 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 angle, side, right? You are going to have to mention that in your proofreading on Monday. Okay? All right, so if we take a look at this angle, angle similarity, we need two congruent angles. Angles will always be congruent in similar shapes. Okay? So in this case, if we look, angle A right here, angle D right there, those will be congruent, and then you need, there's angle E, there's angle B, okay? Now, if you look, this is our similarity statement. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. You guys remember when we were proving triangles congruent, how it's very specific about how we name those triangles, right? Like each angle had to be congruent with each angle, and those side lengths had to be in the same order. It is the same thing here. It's just using a similarity symbol instead of congruency. So the triangle names are still very important, okay? All right, looking at side, side, side similarity. Now, one thing I always like to do, they're saying if AB and DE along with BC and EF, and then AC and DE. There's two sheets at the front, a yellow and I need your pass when you get a chance. Thank you. Okay. So if you take a look at this, all right, I just color coded these, but these ratios should be the same. If one is 2/3, the other two have to be 2/3 as well. There's no shortcut here. You have to check all three sides. Oops, would help if this didn't drag. Okay. And make sure they're all equal. Again, same thing, similarity statement's going to be important. Make sure you name those triangles appropriately. Side angle side, just like with congruency, we have a side, we have another side, and then we have an angle. Okay? the angle has to be inscribed, which means it has to be in between, right? Remember our peace sign from triangle congruency where I said side, angle, side, okay? It has to still be that way for this. Sound good? Any questions? And again, all this is in your foldable and it's in color, so this way you guys can kind of see why I'm color coding it. Anything at all I can address? All right, we're gonna scroll down to our first few examples. All right, angle number one, let's take a look. So in this case, we have two isosceles triangles, all right? I'm looking at this and this helps me with the angle. So I know that's 71 degrees, that's 71 degrees, and we got to check out this 38. Now, how am I going to find if I actually have congruent angles here? Who could tell me? Very good. Okay, so let's subtract 180 minus 38. Let's divide it by 2. Who's got an answer for me? Go ahead. How do you know? Perfect. All right, so we know that this is 71. This is also 71. So we're going to state here yes, and this will be by angle, angle, similarity. Let's take a look at number 2. So we have a right angle here. We have a 30-degree angle here. This one should be pretty easy to calculate. What's that going to be? Who can tell me? Shane? 60. Okay, so we have all the angles for this one. What's going on with this one? Tony? All right, so we definitely have one congruent angle. Anything else? Yeah, remember, these look real similar, but what did I always tell you? What have I told you guys all year? Lucy? Trust the math, not the picture. That's a big thing, right? This is an example of trusting the math and not the picture. They're not giving you anything, so you can't assume anything. So in this case, we're going to say no, and we're just say not enough info. Okay? All right, number 3. Now, we definitely have that congruent angle, which is great. Okay? So, but what I'm going to check is I need to check to see if those sides share that same ratio, right? So we're going to say TS, and this will be PJ just from looking at it. So I'm going to have TS over PJ. This is going to be 10 over 15, which leaves me with 2/3. So in order for this to be, these triangles to be similar, SU and JM also have to be 2/3. So we're going to do SU over JM equals, in this case, we've got 14 over 21. What does that reduce to? Emma? 2/3. So someone tell me, are these similar? Someone new? A big no, what do you think? Yeah? Why? Beautiful. So this is a yes. And this is by side, angle, side. Do not forget the squiggly, that's similarity. All right, any questions on this? Everybody still writing before I move? All right. All right, 4. Use orange. All right, so this is 28, this is 62. We have a 90-degree angle here. One thing that's nice about this, if this is 90, angle EBA is also what? It's also 90, right? Okay. So now someone tell me, what is angle A? Go ahead. 28. Well, this is nice, right? So what do we have here? Holly, say it loud, say it proud. Angle, angle. All right. Now this next one, we're going to have to think about it. Not much, but a little bit. What do we know that's definitely congruent without a doubt here? Lucy, what do you think? All right, let's take a look at those parallel lines. Uh-oh, are those coming back? Is topic 2 coming back to haunt you? A little bit, right? Doesn't matter which one you make the transversal here. What do you guys think? Not really. Okay. So here we go. These two are congruent by, what is it? Emma, go ahead. Alternate interior angles, very good. Now you have a choice. You can keep this and use the other one as the transversal. That still gives you what you need. Was there another congruent angle here though, Jackson? Yeah, those vertical angles are there too, okay? So this one is kind of interesting because actually you already know kind of off the bat all 3 angles are kind of congruent, right? But you only need 2. So this is yes by angle similarity. All right, now we're getting to like the fun one. I love this one. I really do. Someone tell me I'm going to erase this though. Is anybody still writing? Okay. All right, so let's take a look at this guy. So what do we notice right off the bat? Connor, what do you think? What do you see? All right, let's check out those parallel lines. Parallel. So if we are looking at this triangle and then the whole triangle, that's important to note, okay? And then we're just going to kind of focus in on these 2 parallel lines. What angles are going to be congruent here? McKenna, what do you think? QS? Well, we need 3 letters for an angle, remember, hon? So I wouldn't look at QS for the reflexive property, but you're not wrong. It is there. Holly, you want to help her out? SRT and SQ. Okay, so SRT and you said SQU. All right, so those are definitely congruent. What's the rule though? All right, so those are your corresponding angles. Now, McKenna was not wrong. There is a reflexive property here, but it wasn't necessarily at those angles. Jackson, where is it? Angle S. Yeah, guys. So this angle is shared by both the triangles. Do you guys see that? So that's going to help you out a lot. Remember, that's our reflexive property there. Okay. So now, are these 2 triangles similar? What do you think? How? Angle. Nice job. All right, switch to the back side. You guys have 2 to complete on your own. And it also says write the similarity statement, so give that a shot also. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm going to randomly call on 2 of you. Should get the delta math up for that. Let me do that real quick. So get your similarity statements. Remember that's triangle XYZ is congruent to AB, or not congruent, sorry, similar to ABC. Don't forget those. See, I'm telling you guys, I'm giving you that warning because Mrs. Smith even does it. Yeah, but what would be the info? That why? Oh, yeah, there you go. That's one. Alrighty. All right, what two brave souls are coming up to show us what they did? Let's see. The Delta will decide. Oh, she's not here. He's not here either. Wrong class. Okay, here we go. Lan, you've got one? Huh? Absolutely. And let's see. Navi, you've got two. Navi, are you caught up though? I just want to make sure. You want to try it? Worst case scenario is we just talk about it, right? Okay, so what congruent angles did you use? Right, those two, okay? So, yeah, so just write like and then what's the other one? Perfect, yeah. Good back. Just write those up. Yeah, just write those up. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at one. One was definitely a no. Because if you look, only 2 out of the 3 sides were the same ratio, right? So this is a no-go. Now number 2, it's definitely angle because this would be 40, so these two would be congruent, and they gave you J and angle P, right? Now the question is, did we write this correctly? Well, let's see. If angle J is 60, P is 60 also, so far so good. L is 40, which means R is 40, that works too. And then K and Q, are both 80, so we're good there. Questions? All right. All right, now if you're not, I'm going to give you just a minute to take a look at it since this one's being recorded. All right, so here is the key. For those of you at home, pause the video if you need to. Okay, oops, there we go. All right, let's take a look at this. Now, what happens if we already know that these triangles are similar, okay? And we're missing a side. We need to solve for it. So now that we've determined similar triangles, let's practice solving for missing values if we know we have similar triangles. Now, first off, looking at number 1, we have these 2 triangles. How do we know that they're similar? What's the criteria? What is it here? Emma? It's angle, because they're physically giving me angle. They have to give you something, guys. Okay? If there's nothing there, then they're not similar. All right, so in this case, again, it looks like we're looking at AB. And how do I know? AB is going to should be similar to DE. And how do I know that? I have the angle markings to guide me. Then I have BC and E. Ooh, that really went somewhere else. And then EF, okay? Now, how you set up the proportion is important, but how you look at it is even more important. You can't just put things in a random order, right? These ratios are important in how we set them up. So here's my method, but again, you can choose whichever method you use. I usually go little triangle over the big triangle, or triangle 1 over triangle 2, or however you want to use it, okay? And when I set up my proportion, that means I'm going to take AB over DE and set that equal to BC over EF. Do you guys see how I did like the little triangle over the big triangle side? Hi. We have notes at the front. Feel free to grab one of each, and I'll show you what to do with the foldable in a few minutes, okay? All right, so now I'm going to set this up. So I'm going to have 10 over x, and I'm setting that equal to 6 over 12. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to cross multiply. So this is going to leave me with 6 times x equals 10 times 12, which is 6x equals 120. Divide both sides by 6, and that leaves me with x equals 20. Okay? Questions on that? Okay. I am going to clear the screen. Is anybody writing this down? All right, let's take a look at number 2. All right, so they're already telling us that they are similar, so I'm using this similarity statement as my guide. All right, so this is telling me that ML, which is right here, is going to be corresponding with RS. And then I'm going to have KL, which is right here, with QR. So I'm going to set up my proportion. So I'm just going to label this ML as X. Again, I'm going to do little over the big. So this will be X over 8. I'm going to set that equal to 3 over 6. Someone tell me, what does X end up equaling here? Jackson, you got it? Not 16. That's a bit much. Anybody else? Tony? 4. Yeah. Did you set up your proportion correctly? Okay. Do you understand? Okay. All right. Any questions on that? All right, let's take a look at 3. Now, again, they have to give us something, right? We have W is congruent with T, but then we also have those vertical angles right here. So if I'm looking at this, I see that WR, and again, I'm just using the angle markings, is going to be corresponding with RT. And then that means VT is going to be corresponding with SW. So again, I'm going to say this is my little one, this is my big one. You can do 1 and 2, whichever you prefer. But I'm going to have here x plus 6 over 2x plus 3 equals 8 over 10. I am going to cross multiply these two. So this will be 10 times x plus 6 equals 8 times 2x plus 3. What do I do next? What property? Tony? Yeah, I got to distribute everything, okay? So this will be 10x plus 60 equals 16x plus 24. I want you guys to solve for there from x. Solve for x from there. Sorry. Show your hands who's got it. 6. Nice job. Does anybody need to see this? Should I need to finish it, anybody? All right. Let's roll. Okay, so is anybody still writing before I move on? Okay. Last one, last example for us. All right, so they're telling us that these are similar. Now we're going to talk about the angles. All angles are what? With similar triangles. Say it loud, say it proud. Good job. All right, so in this case, we definitely have angle A and angle P are congruent, which means we need to focus in on angle Q. What is angle Q going to be congruent to? According to that similarity statement we have above. Nikki, what do you think? Just Q is going to be, oh, you're talking about angle ABC? Got it. Okay. So we're talking about this one right here. So what is angle ABC? And how are we going to find it? Tony, go ahead. Okay. So for the measure of angle B, we're going to do 180 minus 54 minus 41. What do we get? 85. So if this is 85, all I need to do here is take 2x plus 1 equals 85. Someone tell me, what does x equal here? Good. 42. Nice job. Any questions on that? All right, try the next one on your own. I'll give you like 2 minutes, and then you guys can, and then I'll reveal the answer to you guys. All right? Show of hands. Who's still working on this one? All right, pick reveal. Are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. Should have gotten x equals 36. Oh, wow. A lot of relieved faces in the room. All right. So now, because here's the situation. You need to understand this thoroughly before Monday. So if you are a little lost and just kind of afraid to ask questions, you have an option today. You can choose kind of your path, okay? So I want you guys to either, if you look on Google Classroom at some point, you have option 1 and option 2. Option 1 is an Edpuzzle that contains 3 additional examples, plus obviously questions in general that you need to answer. Option 2 is a quizzes with just 10 practice problems. So if you are confident that you understand this, I would just do the 10 practice problems. If you are not as confident and you feel like you could use the additional examples, you can do the Edpuzzle for more help with that, okay? But you have to choose one. The other one doesn't get deactivated. You guys can use it before a test if you need to review or what have you. But I need one. Choose one before you leave class. When you are done with that, there is a Padlet with your homework. I would like you guys to either tell me something you learned, something you want to know, and a question you have. If a question is listed there that you're going to ask also, you can just click a thumbs up and you don't need to ask it again. Okay? All right, get going. Pick one. If you are choosing the Edpuzzle, please put in your headphones. Homework is your Delta Math tonight, and it is posted on the stuff with the Padlet. Okay. Those of you watching at home, have a great day.